Welcome back to the channel and to another new episode of 2K22's Things You Might Not Know. This one is episode 15, but as always, for any you might have missed, check out the series playlist linked on the screen. And here we go once again, more secrets, Easter eggs, hidden features, and awesome details. This is 10 more things you might not know about WWE 2K22. First up today, a continuation of one from a couple of episodes back, as we have got even more breakout cutscenes. So previously we covered cutscenes that took place for one-on-one matches, and today we are talking for tags. So after a tag team entrance breakout, if you refuse to enter the ring and start the match, you will trigger even more cutscenes, of which there are at least 2 of. One of which is this one, which is a more generic one. And there is also this one, which sees one team refuse to enter the ring. Now, previously in this series, we covered a bunch of unique reversals, including this one for Shotzi. And what you might not know is that she features another, although this time not a reversal, but rather a unique ropes move. So in the down corner position, the game features this inverted senton, and despite not being listed to do so, this move is also a unique move for Shotzi when your opponent is in this ropes position. To do this, simply put your opponent on the ropes, press right or left on the right analog stick to change position, then do a running attack. And by doing so, you will get to see this rope version of the inverted senton. So you likely know that Doudrop was recently added to the roster via the Clown Around DLC pack. But what you might not know is that despite the name change, the game still features a reference to her former name of Piper Niven. By going to create a video and taking a look at the Titantrons, when you get to Doudrops, you can instead see the Piper Niven name on the video's thumbnail. Using this same process, an old screen for Marcel Barthel can also be seen. Another name from that same DLC pack was Rick Boogs, who features a reference of his own, but this time not for himself, but rather for Pat McAfee. As when Boogs makes his entrance and also during the match itself, you'll get to hear multiple Pat McAfee references by the game's announce team.
Guys, get ready! Let's rock out! Come on, Corey! Get your air guitar!
Saxton, get off the table. That's the punter's job.
Rick Boogs!
I can think of more envious positions than facing Boogs. I'm just glad Saxton doesn't embarrass himself like some of our colleagues who play air guitar like a plumb doofus whenever Boogs makes an appearance.
That was pretty cool to watch, though.
So previously in the series, we have featured loads of hidden details via modded creations, and today we have got another. This time, a new but hidden entrance for Sad Corbin. Yes, by the looks of it, Sad Corbin was going to be in the game, and he did feature his own new entrance. So by downloading this creation and then watching the entrance, you can get to see this hidden Sad Corbin motion. Up next, and sticking with hidden motions, but this time a hidden Money in the Bank entrance motion for Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch doesn't have a Money in the Bank motion by default, but does have one in the game that's hidden. That can be attained via this modded creation. It is that time again, yes, time for a little more unique rivalry audio. This time we are talking the Clown Around DLC pack, which features newly added Rivals commentary for feuds including Rousey vs Lynch, Rousey vs Flair, Bulldog vs Hart, Bulldog vs HBK, Mr. T vs Hogan, Mr. T vs Piper, Doink the Clown vs Jerry Lawler, and probably even more.
This is going to be a clash of styles. Doink loves nothing more than to play practical jokes on the King. But Lawler's in no laughing mood. In fact, Lawler said tonight he's going to give Doink a giant punch in the mouth.
I think it's safe to say Doink's brand of humor is an acquired taste, but we've seen what happens when a superstar focuses on the gags and practical jokes.
I can speak from experience when I say the King is not always in the mood for being the subject of a practical joke. Piper told Mr. T the only reason T has a career is because of his rivalry with the Hot Rod, and that Mr. T would be jobless in Hollywood if it wasn't for Piper allowing him to enter a WWE ring.
As usual, Roddy looks highly confident, almost enamored with himself for being here tonight. You can guarantee Mr. T is going to attack with everything he's got.
Well, Mr. T better be prepared for what he's gotten himself into. Piper's a dangerous man who told me on After the Bell that tonight he's going to do what he should have done at a WrestleMania.
HBK and Bulldog are representatives of historic factions, D-Generation X and the Hart Foundation, a bitter rivalry that has taken every member to their professional and personal limits.
Michaels and Bulldog are tremendous threats to each other. The winner is going to be whoever can reach beyond their limits.
Once again, the Hart family is in turmoil over the rivalry between these two men. The British Bulldog said earlier today that he's beaten the Hitman before, and he'll do it again so that their family can move on.
The wars between the Bulldog and Bret Hart date back to their days as part of different tag teams, so there's always been that sense of competition and a little tension between the two.
Yeah, but nothing like this. A past rivalry, brothers-in-law, and a family who can't choose a side makes tonight's match a date with destiny for both competitors.
This is a sight we never thought we'd see. No one ever expected Mr. T and Hulk Hogan would come to blows. These men are like blood brothers.
But Byron, you have to think about all the ramifications this match holds. These are two men who vie for the same movies, TV shows, commercials. You can say their livelihoods are on the line.
Hogan and Mr. T, two inflated egos clashing. I'm just excited to see someone's big head burst.
There's the bell, Rousey and Flair. Ronda Rousey told Charlotte that everything she has is from someone else. And then Rousey didn't have a famous dad. Everything with Ronda is self-made.
Combat sports pundits and fans talked about this matchup before Ronda came to WWE because of the physical talents of both competitors. Comments like that make this extremely personal.
The animosity these two have for each other is pasted on each woman's face.
There's a big fight field. Becky was the first woman to pin Ronda Rousey in WWE. Rousey looks at any opportunity to fight the man as a way to avenge that loss at WrestleMania. It all comes down to this.
Neither of these women need additional motivation. They possess a mutual disdain for one another, but the man must be prepared to take on a Ronda Rousey that is hungrier than we have ever seen her.
Two of the top superstars in WWE are about to throw down. We'll see if Lynch can fend off a Ronda Rousey who looks to remind the man that she is the baddest woman on the planet.
So in the last episode, we covered how Generic Tag Entrance 8 was actually a newly added motion for MSK. And another thing about it that you might not know is that when it is selected and your team is Tag Team Champions, this entrance will revert to a special Tag Team Champions version of it. The next one is Old But Gold, and chances are you already know about it as it's been in the games since forever, but in terms of awesome details, it is definitely one that still deserves a mention, as yes, we are talking about The Rock's People's Elbow. Now, for those that don't know, this move features 3 different versions which differ slightly depending on how many times the move has been done. So do it once and you see The Rock remove the right pad and deliver that same elbow. Do it a second time and he will remove the other, then use the other elbow. And then for a third time you get to see this version with no elbow pad removal. Once again, this one is an old one, but does remain a very cool awesome detail for The Rock in 2K22. And last up today, we are talking Unmasked Rey Mysterio. Now, for those that might not know already, Mysterio's mask obviously can't be removed or even changed properly. A problem that which can be solved via modded Mysterios such as these, which then allow for an editable mask so you can use whatever mask you fancy. But what you might not know is that these same creations also allow for total mask removal. So this is simply done by how you would remove a mask normally, which then reveals a maskless Rey Mysterio. This is also doable for the more retro WCW version, which then reveals this leftover face paint. All in all, a handy thing to know if you're wanting to create a maskless version of Rey Mysterio from the WCW days. As always, share me in the comments any suggestions for future episodes in the series. Stay tuned for more like this coming to the channel soon. And until next time, this has been 101, and I will see you all on the next one.